Hello, trading is closed on December 3rd, 2019. Let's go over our calls. I guess I said yesterday that it was the pattern with the early high. In one place I said it was the pattern with the early low. Well, that's obviously a mistake. Thanks for the person who pointed that out to me. As I say, I'm not playing with all my cards this week, and this week, the beginning of next week, I'm not going to have my usual amount of time to do things. In any event, this was the pattern with the early high. Tends to be an all-day rally closed near the high. I said it was tend to be positive unless we gap down early. Well, we gapped down early. And I said unless we dropped early, higher prices should print. Well, that didn't happen. We still have this ultimate buy signal target of 31.2668. Ultimately, it should print, but it doesn't have to print anytime soon. Usually, you don't have to wait long, but usually and always aren't the same thing. During the day, we got an ultimate signal to buy early. We got the minimum right away. We usually get more than the minimum. MEJT said this rally wouldn't stick and this drop wouldn't stick, and they've already retraced. Well, we're going to go with this alternate count, with this being A and this being B and this being C. It looks like it's working. What I really want to do is to see us take out some of these lows to be totally confident. We took out most of them but couldn't hold it, and that's a rejection of the break. Now, if this is blue A and that's blue B, we'd like blue C to be some kind of Fibonacci cousin of blue A. So if this is blue A, we have a bunch of possible targets. And we hit one of them today right on the nose. That doesn't make it easy for me because I don't think the drop's over, but it might be over for the next few days. If we just break out to new highs and all kinds of such things, well, then I met all the criteria and I missed it. But that's not my first choice. Let's just realize this is a Fibonacci target of the prior pattern. Now we're quite oversold here. When you're oversold at the end of a big drop, that signifies a bottom. But if you're just as oversold at the beginning of a big drop, it indicates more of a top. Now you don't know until later on if that's the end of the move or the beginning. I'm working under the assumption it's the beginning, and the assumption's wrong if we take out recent highs. That being said, this is way oversold. Futures volume tends to spike at lows, even if the lows last only a few days. That's a clear spike. The volatility indices are like VXO is printing a bar completely over its Bollinger Band. That's usually a sign of a short-term low. Of course, you could print a bar higher over the band, and you could get higher volume tomorrow. You don't know. But you tend to get spikes, volume spikes at bottoms. Doesn't mean you won't spike higher tomorrow, but the odds are against it. And transports has printed a bar completely under its Bollinger Band. When the bar is completely under it, that's really a statistical outlier, and there really is a tendency for things to return to the mean. It doesn't guarantee you're going to return there tomorrow. But I think unless we gap and take out today's low, that's what's going to happen. That will recover and return to the mean. So here's what I have. Wednesday's pattern has the early high. Doesn't mean you won't gap down. We have an early low, a day-long rally, and close near the high. Usually it's followed by higher prices the next day. It doesn't have to be a higher close, but you should trade higher. If you undercut today's low promptly, that kills the pattern. We traded under multiple lows. Here's today's low. I wanted to take out these lows. We took out almost all of them, but here's the close. After taking them out, we closed over all of them, and that's a rejection of the break. It tends to lead to higher prices tomorrow. Same caveat, if this low falls, the pattern's killed, and you should know that at or soon after the open. The oversold indicators are short-term positive. They should be a harbinger of lower prices to come, unless we can overtake the all-time high. For the next few trading days, I'm not going to have my usual amount of time to do my analysis. I'm going to try to post videos. I won't guarantee I'll be able to, and I probably won't make many, if any, trades. I have personal business. These are the early highs and early lows. So, for tomorrow we have the pattern with the early high. We have a rejection of the lows. We should get higher prices unless you invalidate today's recovery through all those lows. And the way to invalidate is to take out this low. And if this doesn't happen, we should see higher prices. We don't have to see this price on this move, but I consider it a reasonable target, even though it isn't guaranteed. And that's today's call.